So, today I wanted to talk about learning to accept ourselves and to embrace what makes us unique. Now, I spent many years just hating myself and wanting to crawl out of my own skin and to be someone else because I genuinely believed that my life would be so much better if I was. And I constantly picked myself apart and counted all the things about myself that I wished I could change. Like, for example, I wished I was more outgoing. I wished I had a more bubbly and peppy personality that was really warm and friendly. But instead, I'm like super introverted. I am very reserved. I take forever to warm up to people. And I'm just really introspective. And probably the biggest thing that I really wished that was I wished I had a naturally sunny disposition with a steady mood, like someone who was just naturally joyful, and it wasn't hard for me to feel happy because it just came easily and I didn't even have to think about that. Obviously, I'm not serious and brooding all the time. I have a fun side and a crazy side as well. Like I have a sense of humor. But I do have a natural disposition to experience depression and anxiety maybe more often than the normal person. So I hated that. I felt like it was a burden and a curse. And like, just, I always dreamed of what it would be like if I just didn't have these problems weighing me down, if I didn't have my personality to weigh me down. And it sounds a little dramatic, but I think like there was some reason as to why I rejected myself is because in some cases I felt like the world rejected me, or the world idealized something contrary to what I was. Like, for example, in my profession at work, whenever I'm job hunting and I'm looking at job descriptions, I am always shocked by how many job descriptions explicitly ask for someone who has an outgoing personality. And whenever I see that, I feel a little bit taken aback and I feel a little hurt, not gonna lie, because an outgoing personality is a personality. It's not a skill set. So I felt like I was inherently just not wanted for this position, not even because of my skills or my experience, but because of who I was, like my natural disposition, and like because I was a reserved person. I just felt like so inadequate and unwanted for things that I couldn't even fully control. And I think a lot of people can relate to that in different ways, like the beauty standards. Like everyone wants someone who's like super thin and tall, and so we feel horrible when we can't fit that. Like I'm really short. I'm under 5 feet, you guys. Like as much as I will myself to get taller, there is no way I can. And I can't change my metabolism or whatever else, or like my race and my skin color, like I can't do that. But inherently, the world's always just gonna idealize something, and those who don't fit it can feel the temptation to reject themselves and want to be someone else. It's a very natural thing. And so yeah, I like was constantly at war with myself, and certain narratives in the world just fed my ammo even more and made me feel like I was right for hating myself. But I came across this quote from Saint Therese of Lisieux that really inspired me and really changed my view of things. And I wanted to share that quote with you now. Now, let me get my laptop because I'm going to read it out because there's no way in heck that I can memorize this word for word, and I don't want to paraphrase it right now because I don't want to butcher it. So, let me just log in. Okay, so this is the quote from Saint Therese of Lisieux. The splendor of a rose and the whiteness of the lily do not rob the violet of its scent, nor the daisy of its simple charm. If every tiny flower wanted to be a rose, spring would lose its loveliness. Mic drop. Okay. what I loved about that quote was the image of a flower or the image of a garden, and how a garden would be freaking boring if there was only one type of plant in it. Like, even if you enjoy going to tulip festivals, you at least want the tulips to be different colors. Like, come on. Or a sunflower festival field thing. Like, you want tall sunflowers, you want short, cute sunflowers. Like, the variety is what makes things interesting. And with a bouquet of flowers, with a garden, the variety and seeing the contrast between different plants is exactly what makes the collective all the more beautiful. And so, even if you're a rose and you complain about how you have thorns and you wish you were this lovely, inviting daisy, don't ever forget that roses are beautiful in and of themselves in a different way. Arguably, all flowers and all plants are beautiful in their own way. And so, yeah, so this mentality really transformed the way I saw myself. And I started to embrace who I was and to view my natural traits as actually a gift to be shared rather than a liability to be hidden. For example, like if I wasn't introspective, that I probably wouldn't be able to create these videos in the first place. Because the only way for me to create this content is to constantly be someone who thinks about life all the time and journals and reflects on the lessons that I've learned. Without that, this video wouldn't exist. Or even my tendency towards depression and anxiety. I've started to embrace that as well, because if I didn't experience these things, I might not have been as compassionate towards other people who are going through the same thing. In short, the world thrives off diversity. We need a little bit of everything. Like competitive people. The world needs competitive people, for example, because competitive people tend to aim high and challenge each other. And so collectively, we make much more progress more easily. But we also need cooperative and harmonious people to bring us together and to be the glue despite all our differences. Because guess what? If we were all competitive, the human race would probably end itself. We need we freaking need peacekeepers, guys. We need the harmonious people. Or risk takers. We need risk takers to create new paths and to charge into the unknown and discover new things or whatever. But we obviously also need cautious analytical people who weigh the pros and cons and mitigate disaster before it happens, so that we don't all just jump off roofs and hope for the best. We need a balance of both, because it actually makes the collective stronger as a whole. All the different gifts, the different personalities, the different strengths are needed. We complement one another. And so, yeah, it is not an exaggeration when I say that it is your responsibility, if not for yourself, but for everyone else, to do your part, take up your role, and be who you truly are, and to just own it. To not treat it like a liability, but rather as an asset. To not treat it like something you should hide or suppress, but rather something you should give. Think about it, like all the time, all the years, all the energy that you spend hating yourself, suppressing yourself, pretending to be someone else, and ultimately rejecting who the heck you are, could be used in a way more productive way to make a gift of yourself to other people. The world needs your gifts. The world needs your personality. The world needs you as you are. And so, yeah, embrace yourself, be yourself, and love yourself. So yeah, that is it. I hope this video gave you some food for thought, something to chew on, some new insights. And if you like this video, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and share it with anyone who you think would benefit from these words. And also, if you have anything else to add in with regards to the topic of self-acceptance, learning to embrace yourself and to be who you really are, please do share your thoughts in the comments below, and I'd love to engage with you that way. So until next time, I will see you then.